Hi guys, and welcome to another Write With Me session. Our last session we worked through Senshi, and now we're working through episode 3. I do believe that I left episode 2 as a subscriber exclusive episode. So for access to that Write With Me, you'll have to kind of subscribe. But yeah, I think it'll be okay. You guys just didn't see the development of the episode, but I will probably give you guys a little summary before we get started. But yes, I am a little bit out of it because it has been a very long time since I even last touched this document. Let's just look at page history just for the fun of it. I don't know the last time I even wrote in this page setup history, version history. The last time I touched this document was February 24th, and it's June 1st. I know what I've been doing. I have been trying to move. Well, I did move, but I was going to move out of the state, and I was going to move back to my hometown to be close to my family, but that did not pan through, and so I decided on staying here where my other family is, and yeah, it was just this whole crazy thing, and I've had no time to write because I want to film these Write With Me's, and yeah. Excuse my voice. I don't know why it's so baritone. Not baritone. So low and scratchy right now. Okay, let's get started. I'm a little bit not there because I haven't had my coffee. Not that I haven't had it. I just haven't finished it. But a little rundown of what happens at the end of episode 2. I mean, the kids are summoned. They don't know they're summoned. They probably assume that they're reincarnated into another world. And I did just talk to myself a ton and ask myself, would the kids would they know that they're in a fantasy world as soon as they get summoned, or do they just think that they thought they died, they didn't die, and now they're stranded in the middle of nowhere, maybe they were kidnapped. I was trying to approach it in a very, I was trying to approach it in a way of are the kids going to be surprised that they're there? I want to approach it in a human way and not just I'm making these characters act according to the way I need them to act so that we can go about the plot. But it isn't very uncommon for heroes and heroines to just automatically assume that they've been summoned into a magical world. But I think there can still be that kind of wonderful shock factor and that kind of childlike excitement when they find out they're in a fantasy world. Something that I did tell myself I would just kind of figure out later on is, well, let's back up a bit. The kids die, they're summoned. Orith finds them in the forest because they are unconscious in the forest, and one by one they're waking up, and then Mai wakes up last, and something is happening, and there's a reason why she wakes up last, but we won't get into that right now. Orith finds them, and he thinks that they might be demon fens or, creatures from the forest that are disguising themselves as human. But he is, as I've said before, Orith is like an old legendary hero. There's a history to him. He's experienced. He would know if they were normal kids or if they were monsters or demon possessed or anything like that. So he knows they're not anything. He knows they're human but not human. There's something different about them, but whatever. He knows they're not a threat to him. But of course his suspicions, he doesn't just think these are random kids from town because he knows everyone from town. So these are new kids and they're out in the middle of nowhere. So small town, new mysterious weird kids, and he's very, I don't know. He wants to question them for sure, but I think he kind of knows he's not really going to get a good answer out of them. So he tells them to stay the night either at his house or at an inn that he has them come to. But yeah, I'm thinking maybe the kids stay in because really it's would a group of kids may stay at a random old guy's house, but if they were smart kids, they wouldn't do that. If they would at least, be a little bit more hesitant to be yes, random old guy who found us, we will now stay with you. It's a little bit dumb. So let's give them a little bit more humanity and let them be smart about it, and maybe they deny it at first, but really he'll set them up in an inn. Okay, so let's just say kids wake up in an inn, and maybe they just assume that they are in a Renaissance fair. They are in a Renaissance fair, and they kind of talk about, maybe they'll talk a little bit about like because he lives on the outskirts, but he probably walked them into the village that was very almost medieval, Scandinavian inspired, possibly just kind of like your typical starter fantasy village in a way. Or they just think that they're out in the country. Maybe they just assume they're in a Renaissance fair. But then maybe the innkeeper is demi-human, like demi-human, part cat person or something, part cat person, or I don't know, something like that. Not like a kawaii cat person, but just like a lynx mix type situation. I don't know. Yeah, I think they're slowly gonna be cute, like they're slowly going to get that they're not in a place that they're familiar with. They may be in just another world, maybe, because, so time-wise, where I'm kind of backtracking to is I have to delete this part where it says Orth uses his sword and maybe a magic healing potion, because they haven't woken up yet. Right now they're staying at the end. The kids are in bed talking about how they must be in a fantasy world. So maybe I have to go and backtrack a little bit more to, or maybe they don't even see the innkeeper yet. Maybe Orth kind of knows the innkeeper and knows she's not awake quite yet or something like that, because it's like, what, 2 o'clock in the morning? So he maybe leaves a letter by the door saying that he sent some children to come sleep there, which could be plausible, because then they don't see the innkeeper yet and they kind of wake up to see this kind of fantastical creature innkeeper, which could be cool, because if you think about it, like, they don't really get much business, possibly, because it's out in the middle of nowhere. Maybe there are no inns, so it doesn't really make sense. Am I overthinking this? Maybe a little bit. So one way or another, let's just say the kids are clued in, maybe it possibly being a fantasy world, but they won't know until they wake up. They saw his sword, and they saw part of the town. Let's just jump to, let's not overthink. I'm kind of stuck right now, so let's not overthink it right now. I'm just thinking of all the possibilities of what could possibly happen. I was just thinking, like, maybe they could sneak out in the middle of the night and get a better look at town, or maybe they're just exhausted so they go to sleep right away. But I don't think, like, just seeing the town and then going into the inn and then finding a place to sleep is necessarily, yeah. I don't know if the demi-human innkeeper is the best way to go. No, yeah. I think let's just cross out the innkeeper as a demi-human for now. Because for viewers like you, like, I want to be very careful about different races being exposed too quickly. For now, this is like a quote-unquote human town that, you know, travelers kind of come and go. I haven't really thought too much about the location of the town and where certain races would be in respects to where that is. I do know that it's close to like a fairy region or an enchanted forest type situation, or just right at the entrance of the enchanted forest. But yeah, so the kids, do they wake up at the end? No. Let's just delete this for now. The kids, except for the kids in bed talking about the fantasy world. Maybe the kids in bed are processing dying. They ask each other if they remember the crash. They probably ask if they've been kidnapped, but quickly dismiss that because Orath would have taken them to his house and locked them up. Maybe they try the door to see if it's locked. It's not. Yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense right now, but I don't want to drag out the scene too much. My says they lucked out, and for everyone to get some sleep. Let's make it I think we can make it a funny part where everyone in starts out in their own beds, but then two littles sleep with two littles end up in my Senshi is sleeping by the door and my didn't sleep at all. Yeah, I'm just trying to, I don't know. I'm just trying to think. Hopefully I'm not trying to think too logically or human about this, but I want it to feel human. Like fantasy-ish, but human at the same time, because Mai would not have slept all night. She probably would have been overthinking all night and just thinking about how she has no idea where they are and she really wants to just walk out, but it's a little bit scary. It's too scary to walk out and she needs to stay with the kids, and she probably told Senshi to go sleep by the door. And then the two littles probably also had a hard time sleeping, but Nia's probably someone who can sleep pretty easily if she wanted to, but and is in denial of being scared, but then doesn't mind. Okay, wait, I'm just thinking more about this dynamic, and I kind of want to think a little bit more about this scene or like the whole sleeping thing, because it would show more of their personalities, and I would love to show, as much as possible, I want to be able to show this kind of sibling dynamic, and I just thought of something that I thought would be really fun. So maybe everyone is in their own bed. Everyone is in their own beds. But Mai says that he can sleep with her. And he will gladly go with her. I asked Nia if she wants to sleep with her too. But Nia, I keep on spelling Nia the Hmong way, but forget Nia is actually spelled differently in this book. Mai asked Nia if she wants to sleep with her too, but Nia says she's okay at first. Then I think Mai knows that she is scared, but she is kind of in denial that she's scared. Then Mai says that she's cold and might get scared and wants Nia to sleep with her. Starts to whine, and then Nia huffs and goes to squeeze in bed with her. Senshi, maybe he gives him, I don't know. Would Senshi react? Okay. Here's the thing. I'm so unfamiliar with Senshi that it's hard. But so let's just look back on him, even though, where is he? Nia, Senshi. He's an internal processor, so he's a little bit quieter. He wouldn't be someone who, would he take it upon himself to sleep by the door? I don't know, maybe not. Because he hasn't developed like a sense of protectiveness. I could see Mai being bossy a little bit and telling Senshi to go guard the door. I think, so Senshi's going to end up sleeping by the door. Maybe, possibly, but it might be because Mai hears something at night and tells him to go sleep by the door. It doesn't sound right, because it's like, is Mai bossy? And does Senshi care enough to do that right now? Or is Senshi also scared, but he doesn't know how to do it? He doesn't know how to like go about being protective or anything like that. I feel like he's someone who would kind of stay. Okay, here's the thing. It's going to be boring, but Senshi might end up just staying in his bed and watching the door, or having a good view of the door. And Senshi stays in his bed and watches. That's still up for grabs. So, yeah, that sounds okay. Then they all sleep. They all sleep. And the kids wake up all with blankets kicked off. Okay, the kids wake up with all the blankets kicked off. The kids wake up with all the blankets kicked off, and I was just, okay, so here's something that I'm considering. I'm just thinking about, that's tinkering in my head. It was like, Key might have peed the bed. Question mark, question mark. Or, okay. I don't know, I might be getting too specific because, not too specific, but I might be overcomplicating it. I do this too much. I do this too much where I focus on like logistical stuff and I kind of expand on it a little bit too much. For example, you know, the restroom. It's like, well, the kids don't know where the restroom is. It could be problematic because they weren't shown where the restroom was, or they will be too scared to wander in the inn by themselves. So there could be complications. Hi, Billy. Oh, yep, yep. Oh, hi. Hi, Katie. Hi, Katie. Come sit. Come here. Okay, so Key might have peed the bed, or the kids wander the inn. Okay, this is way too much backtracking. Let's just keep myself from backtracking. Key might have peed the bed, something, didn't know where the restrooms were, restroom was. Or, I mean, the restroom could have been inside their room. You never know. My dog is so cute. She's so distracting. Let's just not worry about that right now. The innkeeper finds the note from Orath and knocks on the door. She gets the kids cleaned up. Maybe she has some elf blood or goblin blood. So she might have kind of like more pointy ears, or kind of have like a different, not like a deformity, but she just has like facial characteristics that don't seem quite human, but she looks human enough that they just assume that that's what she looks like. So maybe, possibly. She looks a bit off, but not off enough. Looks off, but not off enough for the kids to assume she's not human. Maybe she's particularly short, and the kids kind of just overlook this. So that's kind of something on her. She looks after, she gets the kids cleaned up, gives the kids new clothes, question mark. I'm starting to think, so I'm thinking about the process in which the kid, you know, the innkeeper starts to take care of them, because like, is Orth the one who gives them clothes? Is he the one who wakes them up? He could be the one that wakes them up, but because they're kind of his responsibility, so it'd be a little bit weird for him to just have the innkeeper take care of him. He's probably the one that knocks on the door. Let's see. Okay. So let's scratch this. I have a new idea. Because it takes the peeing in the bed, and it takes the, I think it takes the problem. We can keep the innkeeper thing there for now. So we can keep the innkeeper thing for now, but let's see. Orath is the one to knock on the door and wake them up in the morning. But then Key and my aunt, maybe Orath hears the kids screaming from outside of the door, and he swings it open, and my is holding Key and throwing him to Orath, saying he needs to pee, and Orath runs Key to the restroom. I think that would be really fun, kind of comical thing to do, and almost like Orath's beginning of having to be almost like a dad-like character to them. Hi guys, this was just a clip preview of the full Write With Me sessions. For access to exclusive behind the scenes Webtoon content and full Write With Me sessions, check out my Patreon or Discord subscription below.